Our next speaker is Lyra Bishop, and she's been given 3 minutes from Thelma Grant and 3 minutes from Francois Chiquette. I have a total of 9 minutes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Actually, we do know what was said on February 24th because I listened to it over and over. My name is Lyra Bishop, and I am from Paris. Supervisor Stone and County Counsel Pamela Walls continue to insist that Attorney Al-Hadef and his client, the Church of Scientology, were not involved in the drafting of Ordinance 884 or instrumental in drafting the ordinance. On February 24th, 2009, the following exchange took place between Supervisor Stone, County Counsel, and Mark Bunker. At 1:30:12, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 12 seconds, Stone: Pam, would you please explain who drafted the ordinance? It was not Mr. Al-Hadef. County Counsel: I went ahead and drafted that ordinance, and I based it on, I believe it was the County of San Diego ordinance. Bunker: the first ordinance that Stone brought to us, or this revised version? Walls: the original ordinance that was brought, I drafted based on a case. I believe it was the County of San Diego or the City of San Diego. Stone: I gave her the copy of the City of San Diego. Bunker: was Scientology involved in it, the drafting of it? Stone: no, it was a copy of San Diego's ordinance that was 500 feet, where we're talking about 30 feet today. Bunker: so Scientology had nothing to do with bringing this ordinance? Stone: they did not construct, did not have anything to do with that ordinance. But on November 25th, 2008, the day that Supervisor Stone introduced the Ordinance 884, he stated at 46 minutes, 43 seconds. Sorry. The ordinance came about as a result of a group of individuals that have been very outspoken in admonishing the rights of others to practice a religion. And they have been extremely contentious, and it was as a result of their request that we examine what we can do, because some of these very hateful individuals that just have a problem with this particular religion were engaging in some very contentious and potentially violent demonstrations in front of their property that was totally inappropriate. We are also, and you went on to say, we are also seeing that as a result of Prop 8 passing, that there has been some demonstrations against church groups and protests that have maybe stepped over the line. Well, demonstrating a group is completely different than demonstrating a residence. On that same day, at 50 minutes 38, Supervisor Stone stated, this was brought forward by a group that was very concerned about hate crimes. That's not a residential concern if it's brought by a group. And on January 13th, 2009, at 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 56 seconds, Attorney Al-Hadef stated, what I had proposed to County Counsel and what we're working on is a collaborative meeting with the sheriff, with County Counsel, to do exactly what the board asked us to do, and then to report back. At 1:15:48, he said, all of the things that were discussed today really are not germane to the ordinance. The only thing that really is germane or relevant to the ordinance today is for us to do exactly what the board asked us to do and to report back to the board. And that's what we propose to do. He continues at 1:17:15. Basically, what happened is the sheriff said, if this was the city of Riverside, we could protect you. This is presumably the catalyst for Attorney Al-Hadef and the Church of Scientology approaching Supervisor Stone for his assistance in introducing Ordinance 884. At 1:17:48, Attorney Al-Hadef says, I don't know what else to add except I think we ought to go about doing what we were supposed to do and follow the orders of the board. In conclusion, the following exchange between Supervisor Buster and Attorney Al-Hadef leaves no doubt that the Ordinance 884 was introduced to protect the Church of Scientology, and that its legal counsel worked side by side with County Counsel and the Sheriff in drafting Ordinance 884. At 1:20:35 on January 13, 2009, Supervisor Buster, why is it needed? Al-Hadef, it is needed, Buster, why are we going to such great lengths? Why is it needed? Al-Hadef, it is needed because we are trying to protect these people who live there and work there and go from their residences to a dining hall, and who do not particularly care to have people yelling or screaming at them as they go in their apartments or in their homes. And this ordinance has had a prophylactic measure on that question. Al-Hadef never mentioned concern for protecting a Mormon bishop. Supervisor Buster, this is what you said. I want to make life simpler for everyone involved, particularly those who have to enforce these laws, the sheriff. They need to have clearer rules too, under which otherwise all kinds of problems can ensue. And this seems to me to be very, very much more complicated than it needs to be. Attorney Al-Hadef, Mr. Buster, I couldn't agree more. And if you would allow us to do exactly what you ordered us to do, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to meet with the sheriff. We're going to meet with county council. We're going to work this through. That's what we're supposed to do. Now, Supervisor Buster did go on to say that probably wouldn't be a good idea, but this was already in January. This was introduced in November, and Attorney Al-Hadef had already been working with you guys. You know, this whole ordinance is tainted. The motivation behind it, Mr. Stone, is tainted. Supervisor Jeff Stone and County Counsel Pamela Wall's deliberate lies to the board and to the public warrant an investigation by the California Attorney General's office. If you guys are, if you other supervisors are willing to vote yes based on these words by Mr. Stone, County Counsel, and Al-Hadef, then you too warrant investigation by the Attorney General's office. And let's see, I still have time. I've never used this before. That's me. John and Ken from KFI, Lori Stone, my son, Tony Rogers. This is the protest. This is Lori Stone. She was not 30 feet away from the property line on that day. I wasn't 30 feet from the property line. The blonde lady here was the vice principal from Columbia Elementary School with her son. There's Julie Waltz. Thank you. We have protesters in front of the gate, sheriff cars. Nobody's being arrested. So why were the people at Gold Base arrested?
Because they trespassed.
Well, aren't we trespassing here? You can't trespass on a public way. Now, no matter how many times you try and spin it, it's not going to change that it's public. We've got parole cars, sheriff cars. Here we are with the bullhorns. We've got somebody standing here. Nobody's being arrested. Here you are with a KFI microphone. You're probably 30 feet from the property line only because you're right off of the highway. But Mr. Ashley, you were there that day. Mr. Buster, you were there that day as well as Mr. Stone. And you know that we were always walking in front. We weren't blocking it. Here's a back view of you. Now, just one more thing. I don't know if you guys are aware that I put a parole officer by the name of Joe Nolette under citizen's arrest at the David Allen Dokich protest for assault with a deadly weapon, that weapon being his car. Now, he in turn turned around and placed me under citizen's arrest for a Penal Code 148, interfering, obstructing a peace officer. Do you know that we never got processed? We've got assault with a deadly weapon and a 148. Then you've got trespassing at Gold Base, and they get processed. What's up with that?
You have 10 seconds.
Why don't you go online to Google and Google Jeff Stone's changing story.
Thank you, Ms. Bishop. Next speaker, we stand ahead of. Sir, I'm sorry.